First off, let me start off again by thanking you all so much for your kind words, for so many of you all sharing it, sharing all of our previous posts and sharing our videos all across your Twitter and your Facebook. Thank you for your kind messages and your tweets letting me know that you're following us on this journey and you're keeping up with us. And so many of you all have even stumbled across my personal website and shot me a message through there. So please continue to do that. Continue to spread the word about what's going on and what it is that we're talking about, so that lives can continue to be changed and transformed by the power of God's word. So for the past couple of weeks, the past couple of posts, we've kind of talked about pursue God. It's really a lifestyle, and it's a constant challenge to each of us, to kind of take some time out of our lives that can be sometimes chaotic and crazy and chase after God with everything that we really got, to really begin to develop a thriving relationship with Him in spite of everything that's going on around us. And it's been an incredible journey. We're still walking through it here at Rock of Ages Church with our youth ministry as well as some of our youth leaders. And so many of you have already jumped in on this journey, and I want to invite you to jump in wherever you are. You can download the app right from your smartphone. It's called Pursue Journal. You can download the book on your Kindle, or you can buy it from Amazon, however you need to do. But I really challenge you to get this book if you haven't already gotten it. It's a short read, but it's a great read. It'll encourage you wherever you are to really step out on faith and begin to pursue a real relationship with God. And your life will never be the same after you do so. But today I want to veer away just a little bit because of some of the questions that I've received back from comments about people's lives. And it's great that you all feel comfortable enough to ask me questions like this. And so I want to step out and do the best that I can to answer them. So one of the questions that really got me was a question that several people asked. And it was, how do you really just balance between where you are and everything that's going on around you? How do you develop, this pace and really begin to continue to focus regardless of the things that are going on around you? And my simple answer to that is boundaries. Setting boundaries. Now, while that's a simple answer, it's a not so simple thing to do. We all struggle with this idea of boundaries. We say it, but so often we set boundaries and then step over our own boundaries. What is a boundary? A boundary is something that separates something else. It cuts off. It's kind of the cutoff point. It's that imaginary line that we draw sometimes in the sand. And the problem is, when we set this boundary, we have to be bold enough and firm enough to say, hey, I'm going to set this line and I'm not going to cross over it. So what that might mean is, hey, I'm going to say that if I want to pursue a right relationship with God, that means my relationship with somebody else has to be different. So it means that if I am in an intimate relationship with somebody, I need to set that line and say, hey, I can't keep crossing over here and going to that point that I know is wrong with you, because I want to develop a right relationship with God. And likewise, to just take it a step further and not go into that aspect of it, but just say, hey, how do I focus in school? How do I focus wherever I'm at with whatever I'm doing? And the simplest answer to that is setting boundaries, to say, hey, this is what I really need to be focused on. This is what I really need to be doing. And so I draw that line after that to say, okay, well, this is some of the things that I like to do, some of the things that I'm kind of involved in outside of my educational pursuits or my vocational pursuits or my career desires, whatever that may be. And now here are some of the things that I can get rid of, or I can kind of push to the back burner, but here are the things that I need to be focusing on. And so many times we set these boundaries and then we end up crossing over them. So we end up stretching ourselves too far. And so the simple challenge I have for you all today is